Now I will show you the structure of our builder UI. It contains from different sections. Going to the UI. On the left side here, you see the structure of the form. You can collapse and expand every section. The second part is just here is a settings menu. When you click on any item, you will see some settings from it. And here you can describe any attributes, default one and additional, which described by FHIR SDC implementation guide. Yeah. Here we also can add some constraints, attach media, also can describe some rules like enable when expression, FHIR pass expression, and calculate expression. Also from that extraction, we have only two right now options, like basic one for observation and definition based. And population, we have two of them, like observation based and expression based. Default value is just initial value. Okay, third part, the biggest part of the UI is just this rendered form, like form renderer, we call it. Here you can interact with the form, enter some data, like enter data here, trying to enter invalid data, go into temperature, and see that here we already have some minimum maximum values. Here interact with data. Above it, you have a toolbar in which you can debug a form, trying to see how it looks on different devices and tune a little your layout. Also, you have different one, like in opposite. You can click on the view and it will select it on the renderer. Also, on the bottom side, we have debug panel. You can debug it here. You can download it here. Also, you can validate against your FHIR server packages and other validation implementation guides. Also, you have questionnaire response. If you see here, we have like temperature. If I enter another some values, it will be here. Also, we can validate it against our download. Also, like the basic one, we have testing for population, data extraction, and a table with variables where we can see any values for calculated expressions. This maybe to be short, I'm skipping this section. Okay, just move this zoom pop-up. Okay, this like default visual structure of builder. Okay, and also I want to ask, is this like a main content of this presentation, ask key features of our form builder that we have. This multilingual form, we can add different languages for the same form. For that, we should specify default language, like English, and we have a translation table. We're trying to match the UI of translation table like typical translation applications and found that it's better suited like table when we on the left have like structured text from the table, also default language, and we can add another languages. Like for example, trying to add French. Here we can enter some data manually. Also, to be on the edge of the technology, we use AI feature here, and this will give ability to skip a lot of effort to change the language. Okay, this first main feature, key features. Also, we have pre-populate. Unfortunately, there are no any buttons in particular here. It's implemented in form render. Typically, we have repopulated the basic and naive implementation just to replace all previously populated or entered data. Yes, we were maybe a pioneer in this regard, but when started to implement it, we lost our main source of information from clients where we can get more insights which typical use cases and scenarios of population should be. And in this regard, we implement just basic one, just to mention, and maybe I will not be much here. Also, we're talking right now about modular forms. We have ability to use modular forms in Box Form Builder. Also, we have some nice support. For example, in this vital signs, like blood pressure section is so typical, it can appear in any other form because the question is so common and generic. It's useful for us to create a component from it. Also, we can select this component, create it, and I have some issue right now. What's the problem? Maybe I already created it. Just try another one. Okay. And I can, after that, like add in any place this component after. I just want to search for respiratory rate. Here we have component with rendered preview. Okay, and for now we have two sections of respiratory rate at the end and in the middle. In the questionnaire, it will be stored like display item.
That's using modular forms and assemble, right?
Yes, correct.
Cool. Nice.
Here we have just like display item which has extension for component, and right now you see, and right now this form behind the scenes like translated to like to say template form, and there will be one more form like assembled form. When you use components, here is just like link to some component, and when you save the form, there will be created new form from this like vital signs with assembled postfix in the version or in the URL. Okay, and it will be used like for production for production. When you will change here something, after say it will reassemble that form and you have another one. Also, every form can have different reusable contexts. It can be like component. If you choose the component, this form is not able to be used separately on their own. It can be used only like a component and part of different questionnaires. And also third reusable context, like a reusable form. This the best of two worlds. Just like a form and component at the same time. Okay, I think it's this. Okay, this almost at the end. The third one, the fourth feature that we're currently working, it's in progress and may have some bugs and inconsistencies. This FHIR pass editor with autocomplete validation. For example, the whole, here we have some expressions. Just to remove it and try to write part from start. I did not get, I did not remember the whole expression, just write a couple of words. Like we have a resource, we have after completion and also documentation. I just type a little faster, repeat here on the file. On the right, we see here documentation, also link to the FHIR pass definition on different page. Go and repeat. Also here, just some nice, oh no, repeat item where link ID. Here is some niceties complete for items. Particularly here should be like link ID. You see it on the right, and here you see like the text of this item, like hate. Yeah, it's not complete, but it's try to. It will be better. For now, we're just trying to add more validation for different contexts here. Currently, we have like correct parsing of FHIR pass AST, correct and color for like representation, like unit already represented like different kind of like not in AST. Let's see. Okay, this is all, and we are thinking for future. The main challenge: how to create visual constructor for non-tech persons, because our form builder like so non-techy for most of them. Yeah, but when you go to the more complex ways, in FHIR pass is one of them. It's a little bit tricky for any managers, analytic practitioners to enter something here. We have nice DSL for like enable when, and it's like to say a moment, my browser freezes. Okay, we have some nice DSL for enable when. It's so easy to implement some kind of editor, like visual editor, like I don't know, positions have select exist equal to. Also, you already have any information structural way and easy to parse. But with FHIR pass, it's so complex. Yep, and we are like have several small trying to make it more visual, maybe not like FHIR pass because looking, but maybe like bigger picture, like this one block, how to take value from some link ID, this different block. I don't know. We'll see in the future.
Yeah.
Currently we implementing.
When you need the power of the language, you really need the power of the language.
Yes.
That's the unfortunate. Yeah.
And I think this is all. We have form builder, like public builder. I can send this link to the chat. Let's go. Okay. I am moving from one application to another. One form builder. Let's try it. And you here can create from scratch. Several features not working here because they require like storage capacity, like debug population. Here you can't create modular forms because you don't have storage here, ability to store. You can load your questionnaires, play with them, and load data back. To get excited, it's enough. I think playing with form builder. I think this is all what I want to show.